Welcome to the Whole Person Parenting Podcast. We're here to have honest conversations about how to follow Jesus and parent kids in a whole person way. For more content and encouragement as we support you on your journey, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We're so glad you're here. Now let's jump in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Whole Person Parenting Podcast. We're so thankful that you guys are here today. And we are in a new series called Becoming a Parent. And so we kind of introed that in our last episode. So if you didn't listen to that, it kind of just gives the heart behind why we're doing this and why we believe it's important. And so, yeah,
just back it up. Go to that one.
Yeah. Pause it right now and go back to that one.
Hit that pause button. Did you say ew?
It's so cringy.
Oh no. Smash that pause button.
Oh, it got worse. So
when I said smash it, it made it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, noted. Noted. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. So
you're seeing some like parental judgment or some, parenting judgment come from the offspring themselves right now.
It's awkward.
I mean, I think awkward is kind of our
thing.
Our thing.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
We did it. We did the thing.
We did the thing. Okay.
Anyway.
So we are jumping into this in this episode, and we're going to be talking about stage 1, which we are calling image making, but it's not really us that's calling image making.
No, I mean, we're calling it that because that's what it's called.
Because that's what it's called.
And
we are not inventing this.
No, we're not inventing this, but we are talking about it, and we're going to talk about it from our perspective, and then also we're going to be talking about it from a biblical perspective. And what we always kind of
we're going to do what we always do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're just bringing it in bringing in this into that biblical lens, and
yes.
Yeah.
So our last series was, again, just to refresh, was called Are We There Yet? Which was talking about the stages of child development, but we believe that parents are also developing alongside their child and having to evolve and change to match what their child is developing. And so we're just
I'm especially interested in like just how all of that works too with our own spiritual development.
Yeah.
And because we talked about that with our kids, like with with children, like as you're raising them, and how their spiritual development coincides as well with like developmental stages.
Yes.
And that because we are whole people. We're not just emotional beings. We're not just spiritual beings. We're not just physical beings. We're all of that
together.
And so,
hence the name of the podcast.
Yeah, full circle moment.
Full circle moment. Wow, how beautiful! Wow,
it just happened. It just happened.
It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So do you want to talk about this?
So image making. Yeah, we're going to talk about. These stages are from Ellen Galinsky, who is a researcher and who did, I think it was like, she interviewed like 299 parents for like 340 something kids. Okay. Yeah. And so this is like older research, but it stands. So like this has been thought of as like, this is what we look to when we're thinking about a seminal research on this topic. So anyway, we are going to be talking through the stage 1, which is called image making. And so we can just pause and think about what that even means. Image making.
We are image makers as parents, or I'm not a parent, but in a rhetorical sense.
Yeah.
But
in a way, like you already are image making, just with your thoughts, like about parenting. Like I know we've talked about your thoughts about becoming a parent yourself, like one day, like you're not in that stage yet, but
one day,
that one day wanting to be a parent and like already beginning to think about how you're going to raise your kids. Like I've heard you make comments like that. Like, I'm going to make sure my kids have this, or I'm going to not let them do that. Or, you have like in your mind kind of already what your kids might be like. And you haven't even, you're not even on that journey quite yet. However you are, like your mind is already on the journey, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm forming my ideas about parenting before I even am a parent.
Yeah. And even about what your kids might be like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be, I'm making an image in my mind of what the ideal is, or of what I would like it to be like.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that ideal, parent-child relationship, like you're thinking of that, maybe even the ideal child, like what you would like for your child to be. I remember,
or even what they look like.
Yeah.
I remember you guys told us a story. Are we thinking of the same thing? Okay, go ahead.
Wait, what were you going to say?
I was thinking of when you guys tried to make your guys'
yes,
okay, we're thinking the same thing. You tell the story.
Yeah. So when Jamie and I were, I think we were dating. I'm not sure we were engaged yet. If we
maybe
we were really close to being engaged, or we were engaged. I can't remember. But I took him, I think we were engaged anyway. I think it was the summer before we got married in the winter. And I took him to this place. We lived in the Cincinnati area at the time. And I took him to Columbus, I think, to a place called COSI. And it's, like a science museum. And like, I was desperate to know what our children were going to look like. Like, we definitely were planning on getting married, whether we were engaged or not. Anyway, and so it like took a picture of each of us.
It was like this machine
thing. It was like a machine.
Like a photo booth kind of thing. Yeah.
And it took a picture of each of us, and then it showed us what our children were going to look like. And it was
monstrous.
No bueno. Bless
you
their
said
hearts.
they were hideous.
They were. It was like, oh
we were
no.
Like, oh,
it
no.
was like it was like they didn't take our best features. They took our worst features and just like smashed them all together into blending into one child. And I was like, this is not aligning with my image of what our children are going to look like.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's just kind of silly
you said
and funny.
We don't look anything like those
no,
children.
No, you don't look anything like them. I'm like, how did this even happen? I don't know. It was very weird.
I feel like that goes along with like image making is like you're forming an idea of what the child is in your mind.
Yeah. And then I remember being like, I don't know. I did have a thought about the kind of kid you were going to be, especially. I thought a little less about it with Braden because I think I already had a child and I was like focused on you too. And so you just kind of,
you just don't really think about it as much.
And you're not wondering what parenthood's going to be like because you've already parented.
Yeah.
So anyway, at least a little bit. And anyway, I remember thinking that I really wanted you to be musical and athletic and stylish. And all these things. I mean,
all
like
the things I
actually, and I had just kind of these ideas conjured up in my mind, and I think Dad had his own ideas in his mind of what he wanted, and like what he was expecting, and I also had like thoughts about like fixing your hair and doing things like that.
I hated people touching my hair.
I know.
I hated getting my hair fixed because it was so painful. I have such a tender head.
I know. And I try to be so gentle, but like, I mean, I remember as soon as you could, you started fixing your own hair. Like you were not about. Do you
remember you got me a really mini flat iron?
Oh, very tiny. Yeah. It was very little.
I like fried my hair.
I don't know.
It was part of my hair problems.
Your hair problems.
There was a span of time where I had significant hair problems.
Sad
and
face.
Mom tried so hard to help me figure out what on earth. We tried so many different products.
We did.
We did so many different things.
We did so many different things.
I don't know what had happened to my hair. I think it's probably just the
It was chlorine, I think.
It
I think
was
you had like a
chlorine, but
major
then I had,
chlorine
like,
incident.
I had a major chlorine incident, and then this like hair lady put like some sort of mask on my hair, and it started smelling like chlorine and like burning.
Was
and my hair,
it was like smoking?
I don't know if it was smoking, but I remember hearing the
Maybe that
lady
was
just
my
kind
imagery.
of like,
She was very concerned.
she was like, this is
like, this is not
interesting."
good. Yeah, because
And
you've
I
gone
was
to
like-
you've gone on vacation, I think, with like Nana or something.
Which
and
all
then,
I wanted was just to get the green out of my hair.
yeah, and it had turned green because of too much chlorine in the pool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we're really
We're going on a
Going
whole
on
another
a whole
course,
other
but it
place.
just did remind me of that. Well, I
Yeah.
felt like I can't make the hair comment without explaining
true.
how badly
it was
my hair was screwed up for a while.
It was hard.
But because of that, Mom helped me.
Well,
But also, I
when you
hated
when you were
getting my hair
little,
fixed,
that
yeah.
was not like it was like a little bit of point of contention. So
yes, you would have to fix my hair for recitals a lot.
yeah,
And I always hated that. Or like any like nice holiday,
Yeah.
I would be like, I want a braid. And then I'd be like, no, I hate it. And then I would just end up taking it all out.
It was a struggle. The hair situation was kind of a struggle sometimes. But it brings me to that, like, and this is what the stage is really about, but like I had my ideas about what what becoming a parent was going to be, and then over time it's like this negotiation of how do I reconcile like what I expected versus what was actually really happening.
Yeah. How do you let go of the
right
ideal?
Yeah. And so I was going to read something that I thought was a good like synopsis of this stage, but it's talking about this researcher, Ellen Galinsky, and it says her research showed that parents begin to shape their role as parents even before the child arrives on the scene. They begin to create pictures in their minds of what lies ahead as they form images of birth and parenthood. Galinsky stresses that this imagining of what lies ahead is a lifelong process. As parents go through each stage of parenthood, they continue to work with these images. Growth occurs at points when parents modify an image to be more consistent with reality, or modify their own behavior to reach toward an image. So while some parents resist or turn away from growth, Galinsky's interviews revealed that people do change and that parenthood itself is a transforming experience.
I like that word, transforming.
Mm-hmm.
The transforming experience. You don't stay the same.
Yeah, like through the process, you are going to change. And so I think the research is just showing that some parents will, like all parents have to reconcile this, like with their image, like their child, what's going on in reality versus what their image of their child was, or what parenthood was, or even childbirth experience was going to be.
Yeah.
And they can either modify it to be more consistent with reality, or they start changing what they're doing to try to create
the image. Yeah. That's really
the
interesting.
image. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said that like, I mean, the research says that like it's a cycle, but this stage also has like a kind of a defined,
time frame.
Time frame because, as the child like grows and gets a personality and like is not long in a baby anymore, like your image is automatically kind of going to change. I feel like a little bit, because you're like, oh, well, that's not how I thought they were going to be like, but then they're also a person. So like, it's like you're getting to know them, you know?
Right.
But you said that the like time frame is like before the child's even born.
Before the child's even born, just in your own mind, like what we're talking about, like future children, you're already thinking
I'm
about.
already in this. I'm in this stage currently.
You're in this stage currently, even though
I'm not even close.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think that's really interesting, because we were created to procreate. I mean, that is part of how we were made.
Yeah. That was the Lord's first job for us, was to be fruitful and multiply.
And I think about even like the scriptures about, and you're better with references.
Yeah. Okay. So Psalm 139:13. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I'm fearfully, wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earths. You saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them.
Yeah. I just think that's really, really cool to be like, even God is, that I wonder if this is a way that we are made in his image, like that we do contemplate things and consider things or think about what they're going to be like even before they start happening.
Yeah.
Like if it's a way that we work and
because
operate.
Because if we are created in his image,
not that we are God or...
No, but we have similar tendencies because that's the way he made us to be. And so if he's the one that was thinking about us and designing our personality and all these things before we were even born, then I feel like it's only natural that we would, have some of these like creative thoughts of just like kind of what would that be like? And I don't think, I think there's a lot of beauty in that. And I think a lot of the times like you hear like be in the present moment and like, but like, I think the Lord also gave us the ability to dream for a reason. Right.
Because we do need to stretch toward something.
Like he gave us he gave us the way to look forward to something and to be able to have a goal and.
Right. Yeah. And so if he's, just that we would think about this ahead of time and that he would think about that. And so then I also think about like image making, that phrase, like that takes me, to Genesis and thinking about man being made image bearing. And then like God seeing that he made this man, but then there was something like missing, and that him recognizing like, oh, you need someone else like you.
Yeah.
And it's not good that you're alone. And so like, to me, that sounds like God kind of looking at the reality of, I made you and we walk together and I am like, I provide for you. Like I supply everything for you. And still I see that you have a need that now the theology of this would be like kind of mind wrecking, but because I know like God's omniscient, but then also, he shares with us that there was this realization, like through his scripture, he shares with us, there was this realization of, I need to do something else. Like I need to make someone else. Like he could have done that from the beginning because technically he could already know that, right? Yeah. That there was going to be another like Adam that he was going to make out of Adam. But he shares that with us. And I just think there's nothing, in scripture that's by accident. It's all ordained by God to be in scripture.
Yeah.
But it just like gives us a picture of how he shifts into reality.
Yeah. He realizes
like he didn't try to force.
It's not good for the man to be alone. So I'll make a helper fit for him.
Right. Yeah. That's what scripture says.
Fit for him.
Fit for him.
Fit for him.
Yeah.
Not even just because I want to.
Right. You don't see him pushing Adam toward no, Adam, this is the way that I want it envision to be. This.
Yes. It's like, well, Adam, I'm going to make someone for you now because
I see that you need that.
Yes. Because you need it. No, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to question God's motives because it's
right.
I can ask
That's
him
what
when
I'm
I
saying.
get to heaven.
I don't know.
But he would have probably already created Eve.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm curious about that too, and just kind of wondering, like, why didn't he just create Eve first?
Or at the same time,
or at the same time,
like while he was making him, be like, "I'm gonna go ahead and make somebody for you too." Like, I don't know. Like, there was a process to it, though.
Yeah, there was a process,
and just like I think it's
this
just
is supposed to be a process.
right.
Too.
It just highlights that he works in processes. Like God works in processes.
You're not supposed to be the same parent that you are whenever your child's a high schooler than when you were when they're a baby. You're not supposed to be the same parent.
Yeah. And so we do continue to develop, and there's something that when you are starting to go through this negotiation, and to your point earlier, this starts before you even become a parent, and really goes into like early toddlerhood.
Yeah. And you said something interesting when we were talking about this too, that this stage usually ends whenever the child first says no.
Right.
Which is like
I know,
hilarious, because then it's like immediately really like, oh,
wait a second.
You have thoughts and opinions, and you realize that this is something you don't want to do.
Right. And you're going to share them, and you're not going to just do
whatever I want you to do.
Yeah. Right. You're
be a mindless little baby.
Exactly. You're not just
you can talk
made in my image. You're not just my image of you. You are
your own person. Image and your own person.
Yeah. Right. You're your own unique person. And I think as Christian parents, we should be looking for, to God, for how do I, support my child through this process, not just to align with what I imagine and what I envision for their lives, but how you actually created them uniquely, and what you want to do with them.
What gifts have you placed inside them? What
and my maturity happens in this stage when I can accept reality, not when I just double down and say, no, this is the way this is going to be.
Yeah.
So I just think about like the relational implications of that stage, being so married to that you can't allow someone else to grow and develop, like allow your child to grow and develop into
their own person.
Yeah. And for the purposes of who God created them to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I think from what I've seen too, and I wouldn't say this is so much in our relationship, but I feel like in other relationships of my friends that they're talking about their parents, and like the reason that I often hear like they don't want to be around their parents or anything, like, or have a close relationship with them, is usually out of like a bitterness of not letting them do or like be the person they want to be, or like, or they constantly are feeling like they have this like looming thing over their head where they have to measure up to some expectation.
Yeah.
Or they can't,
like they're always trying to please their parent.
They're always trying to please their parent. Yeah. And it feels exhausting. And, I think there's a good, like healthy way to have standards to push your children to, and to let them have goals, and then you help them or have goals for them. Like, I want you to, study
for maturity and
for maturity
growth. But the balance of and maybe even just like recognizing is like, where's this coming from? Is this because there are, like expectations and norms of society that they need to learn these skills, like getting up in the morning?
It feels targeted.
Not toward you.
Not toward me, but targeted.
Names. But like getting up in the morning or being on time for things and stuff like that. Which I have my own time issue. I'm like an on time or a couple minutes late kind of person. Yeah, which I know
I'm either a 5 minutes early or 10 minutes late kind of person.
No. Yeah. It's bad. My family, but me growing up, I was like always I think they still probably worry about that.
You're the one that's always on
if they're listening. Yeah. I'm not an early person. They're like getting places like 4 hours
That's
early.
True.
Just in case.
If we ever have a family dinner, we're always the last ones to get there. Even if we're 10 minutes early, we're still always the last ones to get.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway, we digress again, as we do.
I think too, a lot of like the question that a parent can like pose to themselves too, and I know we're talking about the early stages, but in just a general sense, is like, ask the question, like, do I even know my child? Like, do I even know who they are? Have I
Yeah.
taken the time to actually get to know them? Because
Yeah.
I feel like that is also
Right.
can be a place of a bitterness, not only for the parent towards the child to be like, I don't understand why you're not measuring up to this expectation, but
Yeah.
also bitterness from the child to the parent,
Yeah.
because they're like, well, you're not letting me
Yeah.
be who
Be
I
known.
am and be known. Yeah.
And
And
I
so
mean,
have you taken the time to just like have fun together and get to know each other
Yeah.
and not feel like
yeah.
there's always like a discipline, like backbone to every conversation that you guys have?
Yeah. And I think, yeah, are we seeing, like, when we're looking at them, are we just seeing them in relative to our
Our
own ideal?
Yes.
And so, I mean, what this research is saying is that, yes, we are initially looking at them like that.
Yeah.
We are having visions of them, and knowing what I know about infant early childhood stage of parent-child relationship development. I mean, I think there can be some utility in that, like a need for you to have an image of them because you need to have like a really vested interest in them. And you would think that comes automatically, but that's,
Not
there's
always
definitely
true.
things that can get in the way of that. And so to have an ideal or an image that you're bearing in mind around what that child's going to be like may allow you to connect with the child initially in a way that you really need to, in a way that they really need you to, so that attachment can form. And so that I think there's some validity to why this happens. It's not a wrong thing. It just is the beginning of it. And so we do have to be careful that we don't continue to only look at the child through that, ideal, as like an idealized version of
lens.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And and I think that we've talked about this a lot, but how God attunes to us and how God looks at us is like what our needs are, and what we were just talking about earlier with like what we see in Genesis, that there's an ability, that God has an ability to shift with us. And so how can we be image bearers
of the Lord to our children,
right,
in our image making?
Yeah. Boom.
That's mic drop.
Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, we should do a sound effect.
No more sound effects.
Okay, never mind.
We messed with the sound effects too much.
We had a little mishap, but we won't talk about that.
We
Maybe
won't talk
another
about
time. Maybe another episode it'll come up. But yeah. So, I mean, I think hopefully this gives us all a good starting place for what's our starting place in this process. And whether you're whether you are in this stage, if you're like
past this stage,
if you're already past the stage, I think
or
either
you're in
way,
my area,
yeah,
like,
you can.
I'm in close to the stage,
right? Yet still a little bit in the stage, which is like
mind-boggling,
a mind-boggling experience. I can't know what that's from.
Anyway. No idea.
It's a quote. It's a movie quote. Anyway, so no matter where you are, we're going to bring this home. No matter where you are, whether you're in it right now and you can reflect on this in real time with your child, or if this is something that you can think back on, like allow it to challenge you, allow it to. I find it challenging still. I definitely think there are ways that this has been an ongoing struggle, but that is also how, if I trust the Lord in that process and I ask Him, like, what do you see in them? Then we're moving toward not my ideal, but how He created my kids and what He created them for. And so, anyway, that's my challenge to everyone who's listening or watching. And we're going to keep at this. We're going to go. We're just going to go in order. Stage 2
is next.
So. Spoiler alert. Anyway, if you don't already follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, please do that. And
yeah, we actually just found out some new content we're going to be able to do. So
yeah,
we're excited about that. So that's going to be on our Instagram. So
yeah, beef that up.
Yeah, beef it up.
Beef it up.
So
okay,
we're excited.
All right. So we will see. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.